In 1994, our founder and director, Zarif Tadjibaev, invented the original Zarif sewing technology, which was the first in the world to use a rotary looper to achieve a double thread chain stitch type 401. This innovation was granted US patent number 6095069 in 2000. In 1997, based on his Zarif sewing technology of 1994, he designed and manufactured the world's first prototype Zarif double thread chain stitch sewing machine with rotary looper. This achievement was achieved by reconstructing a Class 1022 industrial lockstitch sewing machine manufactured by Orsha Company, Belarus. In 1997, using a rotary looper on a prototype Zarif sewing machine, he created the world's first new double thread chain stitch type 401. In this stitch, the loops of the top and bottom threads are rotated 180 degrees, making the underside of the chain stitch strikingly similar to the lockstitch type 301 with a thick bottom thread. Through extensive experimentation with a prototype Zarif sewing machine, he identified weaknesses in his Zarif sewing technology. He set himself the goal of improving it until it became the ideal sewing technology for straight stitches, and to this end he introduced many innovations into the prototype Zarif sewing machine. In 2023, he achieved his goal and went down in history as the man who invented the world's first ideal Zarif double thread chain stitch technology for straight stitch sewing. As it is known today, the lockstitch type 301 and the double thread chain stitch type 401 are mainly used for sewing straight stitches, although the technologies of forming these stitches was invented in the 19th century. These existing sewing technologies have been very advanced since their invention, but their many disadvantages associated with the method of forming these stitches cannot be eliminated regardless of their development in the future, so these disadvantages can be called eternal. For the first time in human history, the ideal Zarif sewing technology of 2023 has brought about the following revolutions in straight stitch sewing. For the first time, this technology allows high-quality sewing of various materials up to 8 mm thick with a short needle bar stroke of 32 mm, without any adjustments by setting the normal thread tension for all threads. For the first time, this technology makes it possible to sew without skipping stitches, thread breakage, needle breakage and needle point deformation. This technology makes it possible for the first time to achieve a tight chain stitch connection of materials by pulling the top thread strongly in the stitch, which also presses the stitch threads strongly against the surfaces of the materials being sewn, thus increasing the wear resistance of the chain stitch. For the first time, this technology reduces the chain stitch length to 0.5 mm, so that the end of a chain stitch seam with a stitch length of 0.5 mm can be more securely tucked against unraveling by condensing the stitches. For the first time, this technology makes it possible to design and manufacture industrial sewing machines with different types of platform and material feed, with a very simple mechanical design, operating with high reliability and long service life. For the first time, this technology makes it possible to replace the lockstitch type 301 with the new double thread chain stitch type 401 in more than 90% of cases, eliminating the need to change the bottom thread frequently.